films which also dealt with this question of, sex and issues around it,
Yeah, correct.
they kind of fell flat. Have you ever been able to analyze why? Because you kind of were the poster boy of it. So how did you get
So
it right?
see,
And then what fell flat?
I'll tell you what. I mean, pun unintended. It fell flat because see, when I was making the film,
Hmm.
Anshulika, I was not making the organic nature. Again, pun unintended. The organic nature of the film was not about the organ.
Yeah.
It was a love story. I wanted to make a story about weddings. I wanted to make a story about this innocent couple who's ready
Hmm.
to love each other and take a punt on the arranged marriage system, which is 90% of India or 95% of India.
Hmm.
Eventually, you may have had love, failure, whatever, but most people are going through arranged marriage in India, right? And nobody makes movies about that. So for
Hmm.
me, it was a love story. It was a
Got it.
human story. To tell
Hmm.
that love story in an interesting manner, I used this performance anxiety or whatever. What
Hmm.
others started doing after that,
Is focusing too much on the problem and not really the bond
yeah,
between.
because they thought that is what the film is about.
Ah,
That
got
is
it.
not what the film. It is like saying Piku. What is Piku about?
Yeah, Pico is about the father and daughter relationship and not really the
Exactly,
issue that the father has. Yeah, correct.
exactly. Piku is
Correct.
not about that. It's like saying Tare Zameen Par is about dyslexia.
Yeah.
Yes, at
Yeah.
a certain level, it is. You're right, but that's all. It's not about
Right.
dyslexia. It's so much more. So that so
Yeah.
much more is missing.
So my question is, given the mature themes and concepts like erectile dysfunction in your story, how did you actually pitch it to the producers without kind of making it feel too explicit? Also keeping it in mind that it's for a commercially film market. Also, another question adding to that is what advice would you give to the fellow writers who are kind of tackling into the similar realm of stories, and how can they make it more relatable to the audiences?
It's a very important point, and this is also something I tell very often. Most people don't. Most people understand when the producer chooses a writer of their
Mhm.
sensibility or whatever, right? Usually, a producer is somebody who's I got the
Hmm.
script and I need this. Most people, and usually ones who are upcoming, like you and me also. I always consider myself as an upcoming writer, director, whatever. What we often forget is we are the creators. Okay,
Hmm.
so until the world has every right to humiliate me and insult me and throw me out, but I am a creator. You should have the arrogance of saying that the creation starts with me. At a spiritual level, I don't believe so. I believe very different things, but at a very functional level, I believe that I'm a curator of some ideas which the universe gives me, and that's a larger discussion. But at a very functional level, when I sit across and talk business, I am a creator.
Hmm.
I was a creator when I was not recognized as one. I am a creator today when I might be recognized a little bit as a whatever. The thing is, all of you need to believe that, and it is the truth, you guys are creators. So, what you need to do is, you need to work with people. In any case, the world is not going to work with you until you give a hit. They're all going to reject you. Even if you're Steven Spielberg, 99% of the studios will not give you. They do not have the corporate structure prevents them, even if they want to, as studio executives personally to work with you, Jyotika. The corporate structure will prevent that from happening, right? And again, that's a different discussion. But as a creator, you should be very, very, very clear what are the energies that are required to make this story happen. For example, if you are a writer of a particular story or a script, right? You will have a wish list of directors, right? Who will be able to, okay, I wish Sujita directs this. I wish this is a Raju Hirani type of film or whatever, XYZ, right? Or I feel Nagesh Kukunur of Hyderabad Blue should come back and direct this, whatever. Same way,
Hmm.
you have to choose your producer very carefully.
Hmm.
We all agree that being humorous is way lot harder than being serious. It's way lot harder. So, my question is, what are the challenges you face while transferring a serious topic, a societal taboo, into a humorous comedy format? So, what are the challenges you faced?
Thanks, Jyoti. That's a wonderful question. Jyoti, I'll tell you what somebody far bigger than me told. So then you'll also be understanding that your question is so important. Mr. Kamal Hassan, who I'm a huge bhakt of. I'm not a fan. I'm a bhakt of him, and I came to cinema watching him, Kamal Hassan. So Kamal sir, after seeing the Kamal version of Shubh Mangal Saavdhan is a movie called Kalyana Samayat Sadham, which I wrote and directed. So Kamal sir happened to see the film and encourage us by putting out a nice video. So I went and informed him that I'm doing it in Hindi, sir. I need your blessings and blah blah blah. And he gave me like a 1 hour master class, just chatting. One thing he said, Vriti, was so important. He said, Prasanna, when you're hiring actors, na, make sure if it's a serious film now where your actor has to cry or some emotion has to come out, it's actually easier. Either udhar ho jata, tab bhi you can put him against a silhouette and you take a back shot, you put some nice music and he just covers his face like this and oh what a great acting, ho jayega, you can manage. Humor, he said, unless the actor has it in him or her, you stand upside down or you die also, you cannot get humor out of a person unless the person has it in him or her. Humor is magic. It's like falling in love. You cannot define it. So unless you have humor in you as a personality, as a person, and there are a lot of writers who don't talk at all in real life, who are not humorous at all, but when they write, the humor personality, the alter ego is humongously humorous, right? Like I'm a huge fan of P.G. Woodhouse. I'm a huge fan of Crazy Mohan, a wonderful writer in Tamil. Some of the humorous films of Hindi, which I've loved, like Juhi Chaturvedi's and Sujitda's Vicky Donor. So I love such films, So humor is there within me. I attack the world through humor. Remember, I said I'm a misfit. So humor has always been my way of connecting with the world because I find the world terribly funny. And when people take themselves too seriously, I find it extremely funny, you know. So for me, the topic of erectile dysfunction per se is not a funny topic, but the way society would react seemed extremely funny to me. So the humor should come organically. So to answer your question, Dhruti, a lot of what happened post Vicky Donor and Shubh Mangal and all that, the studios kind of realize that, oh, यहाँ पे एक formula है. तो किसी भी serious topic को लेके you make a joke around it. It doesn't work that. The creation has to come from one human being, or two or three who work as one, and that person should feel convinced that it is terribly funny to them, And what is funny about that will always be about the problem and the way people face it or the way people oppose it.
Yeah, so my question to you is, how did you approach remaking your own film? Was there still that similar excitement and anxiety like working on a new film, but you don't know yet how the film will evolve and you're still finding the film, and there's a room for happy accidents to happen? Or did it feel more like re-executing the same vision and being bounded by it, now with a clear idea of how the film would evolve, including the final edit?
Yeah, you're right, Ketan. In fact, you gave the answer in your question itself. That's the only reason why I did it again, because I felt like with Kalyana Samayat Sadham in Tamil, with such a tiny budget, and what happens in Tamil is that the urban voice has only that much of a market at that time. Now it's far better. But I was like, while I was writing Kalyana Samayat Sadham, that's when Vicky Donor trailer is. And I saw how much of an impact it made in Bollywood. So I always knew that I'll make a Bollywood version of this because that's where it will really pop. And that was my conviction. So of course I made the film in Tamil only first, but I always knew at the back of my head that this will get remade in Hindi if it's a good film, only if it's a good film, right? And for me, what excited me about the Hindi thing was to preserve the soul. Hindi films. I see the crisis of cinema today as the conflict between Hindi cinema and Bollywood. So I make Hindi I would like to believe I am making Hindi cinema. Hindi cinema means it's about the Indians and it's about a certain that universal desi soul that we all have, across. Bollywood, I don't understand what Bollywood is, so I won't get into that. So Hindi cinema for me is Gulzar Saab. Hindi cinema is for me Zoya Akhtar, Sujitda, Raju Hirani. So these are all people who make movies about a certain culture, about a certain Anurag Kashyap. So Sriram Raghavan. So for me, it was about preserving the soul of the film. And if you see, you should compare both the versions. It's on Hotstar, the Tamil film with subtitles. You will find that every 10 minutes we arrive at the same beat. But how we arrive at that beat will be different. Because culturally it's so different. And Kalyana Mangal Saavdhan and Shubh Mangal, if you see, so I would say they're Judwa Bai. If in Judwa Bai, if one had been born in Chennai, that would be the Tamil film. If one had been born in Bombay, this would be that film. So if you see, every 10 minutes it's the same story. But the screenplay would be different because I don't know the cultural nuances. So I got a co-writer called Hitesh Kevalia. So I was struggling to find a good writer. We took 2 years to find a good writer. Can you believe that?
Wow.
2 years.
Actually, I can believe
Most
that.
people spend that amount for casting, but we spent that time for writing because writing nahi hai. Remember, we are creators.
Yeah.
वो नहीं है तो क्या है? So we spent 2 years. We found this guy, and in him I found my brother from another mother type. So he combined the desiness with a certain sort of a Western template of writing. That humor and that thought process, like Woody Allen-ish writing and all that. So it's a very difficult combo to have. So therefore, it was very exciting for me. So I knew the outline would be the same, the characters, the world is the same, the beat sheet is the same, but how is this guy going to make it new? And Himanshu, Anand Rai, so they were all there, in that world. And for me, the challenge was, if you see both the films, they are shot differently. The rhythms are very different. The Tamil film is apart from budget and all that, it's a rather softer film. The narrative is a little softer, this will be a little harder and stuff like that. And I enjoyed that. So to invent myself, to reinvent the way I would shoot things, the way but the unifying element why I told Anshalika is because when I was looking for locations, when I was looking for the mother, I always thought, that does this feel like my Chennai home? It may look very different, but my guiding principle is that all middle class families are the same across the world. So, whether it is Premchand or R.K. Narayan, the soul is the same. So that's what my only job on Shubh Mangal Saavdhan was, to preserve the soul of the film.